Check, mic check levels. Oh my god, we gotta check the levels, bros. Have we checked the levels? Oh, mic check. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did we get 100 new YouTube members today? I don't think we're allowed to gift subs here yet. Oh, are we ready to push buttons? Who's ready to push buttons? I'm ready to push buttons. Microphone's working. Check, mic check. Oh my god. What's up, everybody? What's going on? How you doing? Oh my god, I'm not in the frame properly. I'm like extra tall. Look at this. I'm out of the frame. Hey, that's just that's what we got going. That's what we got going today. Is that what we got going? I think so. What's up, everybody? How you doing? I wonder if I can extend. Oh, I can. Look at that. I extended it a little bit. Sometimes you got to come on the internet and extend your. You got to extend your. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? You got to extend it and just go a little extra grande with your camera angle, right? What's up? It is good to be back, everybody. I hope you're all having a wonderful, fantastic Friday. The concurrent viewership is low today, so call somebody and tell them to watch the show. Give them a call on a rotary phone. If you don't know what a rotary phone is, I can't help you, man. I can't help you. But call them up on a rotary phone and let them know, hey, dude, Joel's back. Corvus, whatever you want to call me. What's up? I'm back. I'm back for now. I'm back, baby. I got a office set up with little kids' toys in the background. Look at that. I got pink stuff in my background now. Yeah. I got hot pink toys in the background. You know? So, yeah. Anyhow, the move. How's the move gone? I know some people are going to ask me, hey, how's the move gone? So I will tell them before they ask. I feel like I got something stuck in my tooth here. I think we're okay. I'm going to chew some nicotine gum, because that's how I roll. So to the trolls out there that get mad, they say I'm unprofessional for chewing gum during a live stream, I say, that's what I say to them. And then we move on because we continue around about here. Yeah. So as you could tell, I've got children's toys in the back. I have to do this left-handed. Here we go. Children's toys in the background. We're splitting the front room here between Olivia's playtime and my office space while we continue moving, right? And some people would be asking in the future, hey, how'd the move go? And I'd say, stressful, dudes. Stressful. I was tired. I'm tired of carrying stuff. Really tired of carrying stuff. We've been here under 2 weeks so far. I do realize that we haven't done a show in 3 weeks. I realized that today when I was scheduling the show. I was like, 21 days. Cool. And so some people out there would say, hey, that math don't shake out. And I would say, well, we spent over a week living in our RV. If you guys have been tracking well with the ins and outs of Vicky and Olivia and myself's life, we bought an RV, COVID style, when COVID broke loose, a pandemic broke loose. We got a really good deal on it because it was an inter-family sale, right? So one of my cousins bought a new RV, and we bought the the one that they were gonna sell. We bought the one from my cousin that they were gonna sell. So that's all good. The only person in the chat that has my address is Matthew Romero. He can come over anytime. Matthew Romero's allowed to come over anytime. I think Alyssa also has my address. She's allowed to come over if she wants. Her and Justin can come over anytime, but just leave the cat at home. It's too much. It'd be too much if you bring the cat. So, yeah, the move was really tiring. Living in the RV was really tiring. That was too much. Living in the RV is not difficult, but when you piece it together with working full time and all that, and commuting, and getting the daughter to daycare and blah de blah and all that stuff, it's too much. It's too much, and I would say any of y'all out there that are traveling around or just living in an RV, I empathize with you. My empathy goes out to you, because it's just not. It's not a way to be living with all the other obligations. Because when we're on vacation, it is a cakewalk compared to camping, especially. But we love being out in the RV when we're just camping, because you ain't got any other responsibilities, man. You ain't got no schedule to follow. You ain't got a thing that you got to do. You're just having fun, right? So, my empathy, I empathize with everybody that out there in the world that's just living in an RV, man. Living in a van down by the river it's intense as an adult with a family. I think I could live in a van down by the river if it was just me, because I don't, you know what I mean? Like, if the van down in the river had a shower, I think I'd be fine. I think I would be able to do it, but I am more than just me now. I'm more than just the one dude, right? I am a three-piece now. I'm a three-piece set. I got my spouse, we got the daughter, and then me, right? So there's a three-piece now. There's a three-piece band. This is no longer a solo one-man show. So, yeah, I think all those things, taking into consideration, living in an RV is too much. It's too much, but I could probably do it if I was like by myself. But we got that. We went through that. Actually, the place we stayed was really nice. Had a lake and a little kids park. So like all that part was fantastic. It's weird to live on a lake for a week, right? I mean, obviously we're just visiting, and it's clear that we don't live there or anything. But it was cool. Nice little lake. Weather kind of sucked. The first day that we got there, I pulled up and set up the RV, got it leveled, got the propane, got the power, got the got the plumbing hooked up, did all that stuff. Went in to go use the bathroom, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with the RV. It's got a ring on the ceiling that like ring. You spin it, and then a vent opens up, and then you can push a fan. That's where the fan is. So you get some daylight in there. It's like a little skylight that does this. It flaps up and it flaps down, and you twist a lever, a crank, right? Well, that thing was 'twas gone. So there was just a hole in the roof. So you just had a 14-inch by 14-inch hole in the roof, which is an issue. That's an issue, right? So that was like day one of the RV life. Was there's a giant hole in the bathroom ceiling because the vent flap thing was gone, right? And so it was like, what the hell? So we had to go find one of those, which was wild. And luckily we found like an RV center parts store, McGee place. I don't know what it was. Emporium. Maybe it was an Emporium. I don't know. But we went there. We got that. Turns out you got to take the whole ceiling apart to put the new thing in, but whatever. I'm I'm handy, so as long as she doesn't find you, if she doesn't find you handsome, she should at least find you handy, right? The old red green quote. So I'm handy. I got it fixed. Blah blah blah. And but the everything else that happened was all just kind of nonsense of being super cramped together with the family. We got done with that. Then, man, when it came to offloading all of our stuff, things just worked out perfectly because my cousin, he's a big strong man, right? And his son came, his son is 19. He's a big strong boy. He came, and the three of us just offloaded all of the shipping containers just like super fast, before anybody else even had showed up to help. So that worked out pretty swimmingly. That was not a big issue. But so far, I have to say, we really like living in the house. This piece of property is nice. The neighbors are nice. The neighborhood's nice. It's low-key nice. You know what I mean? Like, it's sort of like somebody's driving their race car down the street right now, which that was intense. Oh my God. Did you hear that? Oh my God. He's revving his motor. But it's low key nice. It's not schnazzy. We didn't move to Schnazzy Town. I don't know what Schnazzy Town is, but we didn't move there. So it's low key nice. It's there's like a farm down the road. That kind of nice, right? So, Joel G says, is the internet connection any good? That's all that really matters. So I know that a lot of people out there have no idea when I talk to them about internet connections. They're like, what? Their eyes start spinning around. They have no idea. They've probably only ever used a rotary phone, which, by the way, is a callback to earlier in the show, if you guys remember that part. If you guys remember that part during the stream when I was talking about rotary phones and then everybody hit the like button, that's what happened. I was talking about rotary phones and everybody hit the like button. But there's a strange thing in the United States. If you say high-speed internet, a lot of people have no idea what you're talking about. And here's the thing. Because over this home buying experience, I have met far too many boomers that go, we have high-speed internet. And then you go look it up, and it's 12 megabits a second, right? And you're like, dude, bro, this is not high-speed internet. I don't know what you're talking about with this high-speed internet. Yeah, it's bizarre. So I still think there are a lot of Americans living in the dark ages that have no idea what high-speed internet is. Needless to say, needfully to say, I have fiber optic internet here at 1 gigabit per second. I can get up to 3 gigabit per second if I somehow, for whatever weird, look how weird my finger is. This one's had interactions with the earth. I could get up to 3 gigabits per second if I so require, which I really don't think that would ever happen. I don't think that would ever happen. Yeah. So, very interesting interactions with people thinking they have high-speed internet, and it's like, dude, this, how do you download a PDF even on this, right, kind of stuff. You're like, well, I don't understand what you're talking about. You're so confused, old-timer. But yeah, the internet here is fantabulous. I tested my bit rate. I can basically just stream whatever bit rate my mind could imagine. Right now, I'm streaming at 20,000 kilobits. Kilobits, not megabits. So I could always up the ante if we feel like we need to. But I'm waiting for YouTube to give us gift subs. I've noticed that there are people out there that have acquired the gifting subscriptions on their streams. I don't have that yet. But maybe I'll up the kilobits once gifting subscriptions shows up. Yeah. Rumbus says I have regular speed internet, which is 100 megabits up and 100 megabits down, which that's the crazy thing. So one of the internet providers that I was dealing with, they're not parallel, right? So to all my European homies, the internet in the United States is generally not parallel. So you might have gigabit down, but like Comcast, for instance, I was talking with Comcast, and they said, well, you could average 800 megabits down if you do X, Y, Z, pay all this money, blah, 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 right? And I go, okay, cool. What's the upload speed there? And they go, oh, it's 28 megs. You go like, what? You can't do any better than that? And they're like, no, that's at optimal times too. So it also depends on like what hub you're on. Like your internet speed will go way down because Comcast is an evil company that basically just has a monopoly on the old coaxial cable fiber, or the coaxial cable, not fiber, coaxial cable that's made of copper running up on the telephone poles all around the place, and they still use that crap. So I'm on fiber with a good company that does great internet service. So we're so far we're swimming in it, bros. We're swimming in internet juices, whatever you want to. I don't know what you want to call it. We got a lot. We got a swimming pool full of it. Somebody asked early. Who asked early about the chickens? Randall was asking about the chicken coop. Is done already. The temporary chicken coop is done. So we made an enclosure. I don't have my second screen, so I have to like this screen. Like I have like a bunch of windows open because I don't have a second screen right now. Let's go over to Amazon because I clicked the I clicked that this is there's product placement, whatever that button is. Sponsored by crap will be in here. Whatever. Links, affiliate links and stuff. So we basically, what was it? This one? Let me see. It was like this one, but it wasn't as expensive. I think it was only $150. But maybe the price has changed or something. I don't know. Where's my get link button? Oh, that's over here. Oh, I pushed the wrong button. Text. There we go. So what we did was we got one of these, like a temporary carport, and you might not know what it is. So you could click on the Amazon link and you could go over there and look at it if you want. You could go over there and buy one, and we'll get an affiliate commission. So feel free to do that, or just go through there and buy a whole bunch of other Amazon stuff that you were already going to buy, and we'll get a commission for that too. If you guys are good and we get enough, whatever super chats today or whatever, I don't even know. We can go look at if there's some interesting things ordered through the Amazon or not. You know what I mean? Oh my God, somebody ordered something yesterday. What did they order? A mouth guard. Well, somebody ordered a mouth guard. That's probably interesting enough for you guys for today. There was that time where somebody had ordered a whole bunch of intimate toys, I guess is probably the nicest way to put it. And I thought, wow, we've got some real wild people in the audience. All right, here we go. Let me push this. Yeah, don't forget the disclaimer. Yeah, sponsored by Amazon, Federal Trade Commission, be damned. But yes, just so you know, we are an Amazon affiliate. I feel like I explained it, and you guys are smart. So, Patreon members. Oh, we're supposed to do the patron thing. Oh, yeah. Go over to Patreon and donate your money. I don't know, whatever. I think you guys get it. Or become a YouTube member, which we've lost some YouTube members, but what are you going to do? If you don't If you don't get it by now, I don't know. Me explaining it to you is probably not gonna help. So we'll just move on because we don't want to deal with that. Big D Smoke actually just got my internet upgraded to fiber optic this morning. Went from 60 megs to 940. Yeah, you've got gig now. Down in the south end, you guys probably have like CenturyLink fiber. I was really happy with CenturyLink fiber the whole time I dealt with them. Was a joy, realistically. Fish Tank Barn says, "Are you reinstating the Moist Fund?" I might reinstate the Moist Fund. People were not excited for that, but I think if let's say if we get to 100 members, I'll reinstate the Moist Tattoo goal fund. But people were not excited for it, so I it's like, what do you want me to keep doing a thing that people are like, I don't like that, stop doing it, kind of thing. Groveside, who's a member for 40 months, which is amazing, thank you very much, says, "This was a nice surprise, great to see you back." Yeah, my goal was, honestly, my goal was this last Monday, but I had work to do. But I had work to do on that Monday, and it just, the conflicts were not working to try and do it on Monday. And I just was like, it's not going to happen. So I ended up not doing it. So then I was like, yeah, we should definitely do a show today, because Monday's Memorial Day. So I think we'll probably do a stream on Monday, tentatively. I'm not 100% sure, but I think we should do one, because why not? We always have a good time. So, why not, dude? Rumbus says, "One day I'll run a real cable to this room, but I haven't really felt the need." Yeah, I mean, if you're hitting it with Wi-Fi or whatever, I mean, if there's no real reason, yeah, it's not a big deal. I'm noting I'm using power line adapters, network over power line. Yeah, I've done the network over power line before. It's definitely bottleneck though. It's a strong bottleneck, but if it's meeting your needs, it's that's all good. Rumba says, "Now that is a name I haven't heard in a long time." Shout out to Obi-Wan Kenobi, that came out last night, and I still haven't mounted our TV to the wall yet, because we haven't found the TV mount. We don't know where it is. We have no idea where the TV mount is, and I really want to watch Obi-Wan Kenobi tonight, and the TV's just sitting on the ground in a box, wrapped up in a box, so I'm probably not going to be able to watch it, but I am, worst case scenario, I'm just going to go buy a new wall mount thing tomorrow, because we have to go, okay, long story short, new house, the fridge is broken. I mean, it works, but it's going to die soon. It's doing that thing where it frosts up everything in the back, and it's 30 years old. So, we could wake up one morning with water all over the floor and a broken fridge. So instead of waiting for that to happen, we got to go get a new fridge. And long story shorter, this weekend they have appliance sales, so we're going to go take a look-see, because it's also fun to take Olivia to go do that stuff. So, and speaking of Olivia, her daycare is closed today, so she's been home all day, and we had lots of fun this morning. We built a tent. We were playing with the mermaids and ladybugs and blah, blah, blah. We were doing a bunch of stuff. Yeah, so we had having a good time, and I'm going to continue hanging out with my daughter after she wakes up from her... It's not a nap, guys, okay? I want you to understand. I want you guys to understand. It's not a nap, okay? It's not a nap. She's resting, okay? I want you to understand that she's not taking a nap, okay? So don't tell her, if you see her, If you run into my little daughter somewhere, it's not a nap. She's resting, right? She's resting. It says, "Whoa, it's bright." Yeah, there's no light. I have no control over the lighting in this room, which is not good. But let's move on to not just moving stories and all that kind of stuff, because it's not that entertaining. But I will tell you, with the new house. Okay, so the fish room. I don't know what's happening with the fish room, and I don't want to tell you guys anything about that yet because I don't either A, want to spoil it or B, spoil it. I don't want to spoil whatever we're doing, right? So everybody just chill on the fish room. I will be doing fish room and fish stands and putting aquariums and aquascaping. 1,000%. 1,000% that will be happening. What that's going to look like, I don't know yet, so I'm not going to say. But as far as my office goes, we have an ironed out plan right now, and we have to kind of wait for the lumber prices to come down a little bit, which they are going to. If anybody's been watching, the lumber market has collapsed over the last 3 weeks, so retail prices and stuff will be coming down in the next couple of weeks. So I'm waiting on that to order my lumber because it's probably the difference of like $500 or $1,000 or what, I don't even know. I don't know. But I'm gonna order my lumber then, and we're gonna start building the studio. So there'll probably be videos about building the studio, which is probably not that entertaining to most people. And they, honestly, I might not even put them on this channel. I might put them elsewhere, but who knows? I'll probably put them here because you guys are the most interested of a fish room studio thing. But I am planning on putting a fish tank in the studio of the future. The live stream studio of the future will have a fish tank in it. Probably the 240, honestly. That'll probably be the tank that ends up in the studio. It's my thought, at least, is going to be the 240 because it occupies a big space in the frame that you really don't have to like worry about all that much. And I have curtains from my old fish room that you could just slide right in front of it. So that'll be pretty cool. S says don't put them on the secret channel. We can't see them. So if I put those videos on one of my other channels, I will post them to you guys, so you guys will know. So you guys will actually see those because that's a studio that you guys are like involved in. But I think I'm gonna put them on this channel because of that reason. Is that like you guys are all the people that support the studio and the channel here. So yeah, that would be weird for me to put them elsewhere. But I think I might end up making like little shorts for the other channel that are just strictly like construction type stuff that the average person would be like, oh, that's how you put the sheetrock screw in the wall. Yeah, that kind of stuff, which you guys don't need to see 20-second shorts about finishing drywall. And if you do, they'll probably just come up in your feed if you watch that kind of stuff long enough, right? SS, how do you like the new house? We like the new house. We like the new house a lot. There are a couple things that we knew about buying this house that we're going to have to get remedied. The first one is a new roof. We knew that the roof was not leaking or anything like that. We have all the inspections from the roof and all, but it is old. So we knew that the roof was needed to get done. So right now we're collecting our bids for roofers to redo the roof, whether or not we're going to do it in architectural shingles, or if we're going to do it in a 30-year roof or a 50-year roof or a metal roof or a blah blah blah. There's a whole bunch of there's a whole bunch of stuff surrounding that. Mains, tails, and furs and fins. I want to know your other channels. That's for members and patrons. So, currently, right now, members and patrons don't know about any of the other content I put up, but you guys will be in the future. That is on the schedule to start releasing stuff that you guys can watch. That's not related to the fish stuff, but that'll all come out on Patreon and Discord for members. So you guys will get notifications of that stuff on through those sources. I'm not putting them in the chat here or anything like that. The big reason for that is that if I saturate you guys with content, it actually kills the other channels, because it's not content that you're specifically interested in. Then you don't watch that content normally, so you're only watching it because of the connection to this channel. You watch for like 5 minutes, and then you're like, oh, well, this is kind of boring. I don't like this. For instance, like, let's say I put out a video about rebuilding carburetors on a 1964 Ford. You guys might be like, oh, hey, I know that guy. Okay, all right. Shoot, I don't need to know anything about rebuilding a carburetor. This is, right. So yeah, I mean that's the big reason. Let's see. Don't put them on the secret channel. Good evening. Oh, Wayne Talbot's here. What's up, Wayne? Zip's here. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming out. Tony Franzen with a 50 Swedish kroner. I think that's Swedish kroner. SEK. I think it's Swedish kroner. Packing and sorting and throwing stuff before a move. It's not fun. Yeah, I don't like that moving thing, man. I don't like that moving thing at all. I did not enjoy that. I don't enjoy that at all. Especially with the stress of like, especially with the stress of doing it all ourselves, and in the timeline. The timeline crunch was the problem. As you guys know, we had an offer in on a different house, which would have meant we would have had all this time to like make trips and have everything organized, but that deal fell through, and I don't know. I still can't get over the fact that we lost 25 grand. That hurts my brain, and I'm really it's not the same. And so before I say this, I know it's not the same, but I'm having to treat that like a lost family member or something, or like somebody that passed away, where there's just like there's nothing I can do about that. I just have to accept it and move on, right? That's how I'm interacting with that loss. I can't wrap my mind around it. It's so much money. It's so much money, but regardless of that, like, I'm relieved we're moved and done. Olivia has a good daycare. My commute is so much shorter. It's unbelievably short comparatively. The first day that we were here, I got up at the normal time, got my cup of coffee, returned to emails real quick, checked emails, things that were coming in, took a shower, got dressed, loaded up my truck with tools, got in my truck, drove to the electric parts house, the electric parts wholesaler, drove to their building, and I arrived there an hour and 45 minutes before they opened. And I was like, oh my God, it is, they're not open. And they're not open for like a really long time. So, well, I guess I'll just go down and open up work and go work and then come back here later. So, my commute is diminished, which is great because it just means more time with my family. I'm able to get more sleep. Gas money, even though this last month I spent like $580 on gas. It's been brutal with the gas prices, but they're gonna come back down, and it's gonna suck for a while. I just have to tighten up my belt and I don't know, eat more broccoli or something. I don't know. Sci-Fi says, what sort of holding system do you have for your aquarium, plants, and fish? I don't. I don't have a holding system. Alyssa is watching Puffy and my guppies and probably a bunch of shrimps, but I don't know if I was going to get shrimp back from her or anything like that. At some point in time, I'll be able to scoop up all of Alyssa's leftover guppies and the guppies that she doesn't want, basically. I'll just take all of her culls and put them in the 240 with Puffy again. And, that's the plan. All my plants, I gave a bunch of plants away. I gave a ton of them away. I composted some. I fed some to the chickens, and the rest I just took buckets. I had like 4 or 5, I think 5 buckets full of plants. I took them over to Corey's house, and they're in one of his ponds in his fish room. So one of his fish room has a bunch of plants floating around in it, and we'll see what happens. Which reminds me, I do have to go over there and check on them. I don't know, probably sometime this weekend, I guess. I got some rocks in his garage I got to go pick up too, so. Big D says, I should be on a plane halfway to New York City right now, but dude BS'd me on the ticket to the fight Saturday night. Huh. Weird. Are you supposed to be in New York? What fight? What fight is on Saturday? I don't know what fight's on Saturday. I don't follow it that much. Mainly because like pay-per-views and all that stuff, it's so expensive. So I'll watch highlights later on. So I don't know. But yeah, it's worked out. It's worked out pretty well, and I have a big sigh of relief right now. And then, like I said, we're gonna build out the new studio, which shouldn't take too long, realistically. But we'll see. And then the roof, and then the other big thing is that the gas. The people that lived here before decided to get rid of natural gas. I don't know who convinced them to make that decision, but somebody did. Somebody convinced them to get rid of natural gas. And the area that I live in now, natural gas is actually from. It actually comes from this waste plant that collects and breaks down garbage and collects the methane. If you're in Europe or Australia or whatever, you say methane. We say methane here. They collect the methane gas, convert, and then do whatever else they do from that. So we have to get that hooked up to add some stuff. And, because I want some hot water on demand. You know what I mean? On command. If you command it to be, it shall be. That kind of deal. So, yeah. Brandon says, yo, I have a question before I head to class. He probably already headed to class, but we'll answer this question anyhow. Crypts can be trained to stay small, like a lotus. Yeah. Yep. Lots of light, lots of ferts. They'll stay low and small. But when you get them and introduce them to the tank, your cryptocoroini, any of the types, you can always do the trick of you got the whole plant them into the substrate, trim all the leaves off, and let the new leaves grow in. The new leaves growing in will generally, not necessarily stunted, but they'll just grow smaller because if they're in a lot of light, they won't be making big giant leaves. That's basically what you can do. But a lot of that does also boil down to your understanding of the aquarium, whether or not your understanding is strong so that you can make sure that you put the system in place that is going to do that, and you can do it well without running into all the issues of possible algae or melted plants or unstable water or all that kind of stuff. It's definitely something you could do if you are fairly adept. I wouldn't recommend it to somebody who's just starting out that want to make some kind of converted large or small plants. I would normally just push them in the direction of just having success is going to be the thing. Raleigh Romero versus Tank Davis. Let's see what is the let's see, what's the over under? Let's check on the over under 1100. Oh my god. Plus 650 underdog? Woo. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem like that's going to be much of a fight. Man, it's almost worth it. It's almost worth just putting I mean, it's almost worth putting like $5 on that Romero guy, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying anybody should gamble or anything, but with an over under like that, I mean, it's plus 650. That's a lot. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like putting $10 on, on that guy on the on the underdog might just be worth it. You never know. A guy might be sick. You get a rolled ankle. You know, there's a lot of things that can happen. So I don't know. It might be worth it. The odds are good there. Oh, okay. Okay. DK Law says natural gas is illegal for new construction in California. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. It might be. You might be right. I'm not sure on new construction California codes and all that stuff. I don't know. It might very well be. Let's see. Let's just look it up. Natural gas illegal. As part of its 2021 climate action plan, San Diego said it is working towards prohibiting gas hookups in new buildings and announced it will seek to phase out 45% of natural gas use in buildings by 2030 and 90% by 2035. I guess. Yeah, I guess it's like, if it's not 100%, it's obviously happening. Let's see. California energy regulators on Wednesday approved energy efficiency standards aimed at vastly expanding the use of electric appliances for space and water heating in new homes and businesses, in a shift away from using fossil fuels to heat and cool buildings. I mean, I get it. The whole thing makes sense to me, but, there's a lot of reasons why I want to switch to natural gas. It looks like the state is the whole state's doing it, but it might just be like a cascading effect. Who knows? But I would personally say that I have a lot of reasons for wanting to do natural gas here. Obviously, there's an environmental impact, from the exhaust or whatever, but just from the simple standpoint of like the natural gas is cheaper and more efficient for our family, for the bottom line. Recovery time on heated water is so much faster that it's not even funny. So I think it's worth. I think it's worth it if you can make the change and make it so that it's cost effective. So that it's cost effective for the consumers, right? So I'm not sure what California is going to do with all the droughts and crazy stuff that they have going on there. I don't know if they're counting on hydroelectric to cover the gap, or solar, or nuclear, or I'm not sure what they're doing. Yeah. So I'm not sure what their plan is with that. I'd have to go read it all and kind of figure out what they got going on. But, unless you can incentivize like solar generation, you're probably just cutting the bottom line for families if you're just doing that without other stuff. I'm not saying they aren't. I'm saying, if they're going to cut that stuff, they better, be figuring out how to bridge that gap, right? Because a lot of people think that electricity is just a sort of it's just their commodity, right? But a lot of people haven't been in the States, haven't ever experienced brownouts or the power grid going down. If you live in Texas, you guys have probably experienced the power grid just completely going down because of lack of foresight. Hey, babe, what are you doing?
Awkwardly walking through the background.
Hey, we have a new feature. We have a new feature on the live stream. Background dancers. Dance, woman, dance. That was a weird dance. Unexpected. I did not expect that to be your dance move. Have you been hanging out at used car lots, learning some new dance moves from the windsock guy?
Is that not how normal people dance?
That's how. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like, whoa.
Yeah.
They can't see you now. You have to be in the camera. No.
Now I'm embarrassed.
Well, are you embarrassed now? You're supposed to tell them to drop the super chats for your sick dance moves.
I was under the impression that they weren't sick, that they were making people sick.
They were making? No, it's not making them sick. Nobody has even barfed at all in the chat. There's no barfers. There's no barfers around.
Come on, guys. Can I get a courtesy barf?
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Alyssa.
Alyssa says hi.
Yes. Big D. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
What's up? What are you doing?
I just was coming to get my box knife because I was considering
getting a blade.
Shades.
All right.
Yeah.
We're ready to shade time?
Big moves.
Do we have to trim them?
No.
All right, they're ready.
Yep.
We should get them. Do we have ones for in here?
No.
Okay. Well, it's still going to be bright. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry. I assumed you'd put your green screen behind you or something.
Don't spoil it for him. Spoiler alert.
Vicky for TikTok fun.
Vicky's ruining it. What? What?
Ruin what? The green screen?
The green screen. You're spoiler alerting it.
Sorry.
God. I was going to put a big fish behind me. A big fish. A real big fish.
Have you talked about the potential build of the fish room? Am I ruining everything?
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, bye now.
Oh, quality dance moves. She's left. Zipgun says Florida gets power outages with every hurricane. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like I was saying, I think most people sort of, look at the electric grid like I plug a thing into an outlet and then it just works, and there's really not that much beyond. Like I plugged it in, and then I turned it on, and then it works. So, yeah. That to me is kind of the issue. If you're just gonna switch everybody over, you need to be able to handle the demand. That's gonna be big time, because there are a lot of people out there that heat their house with gas furnace, that kind of stuff. A lot of people out there that heat their water with gas. Like that's a big usage. But the main three things that I want is a gas stove. I cook on gas. I like to cook on gas. I want to cook on gas. I'm going to cook on gas. That's what I'm going to do. I mean, it's to the point that like if I have to go get a propane tank and hook it up to the stove, that's what I'll do. I don't want to because I don't like the additive smell that they add to propane. I just don't like it. I don't like the propane smell compared to natural gas smell. By the way, I am aware they both smell like nothing, but they add stuff to it so that you can smell it. Yes, I'm aware. Stove, water heater, dryer, clothes dryer. Nothing quite like a gas clothes dryer. A normal load takes like an hour. An electric takes 25 minutes in a gas dryer. So that kind of stuff, you just, you can't beat it, and you're going to use a lot of electricity, like drying clothes and doing stuff like that. So there has to be something in place to cover that, because I was looking up the gas like kilowatt rate versus electricity usage here, and I think the scalability of cost was like 8 cents to 1 cent, right? So for every 1 cent of natural gas burnt, I would have to burn 8 cents of electricity, is essentially what it broke down to. And I'm like, I mean, if it was like 3 to 2, like if it was like 2, if it was like a little increment, I wouldn't be that worried about it. But yeah. Paula Kreinberg, what's up? Says, I need to work on my battery bank and then my hamster farm to charge it. Yeah, that's a lot of hamsters. It's a lot of hamster food. Plus, like, how do you motivate them to, like, actually get on the wheel all the time? Being without power for a few days is expected. If it lasts longer than a week, it becomes an issue. Yeah, I mean, either way, it's still kind of an issue for sure. You guys obviously don't have cold weather like we do up here. It's a bigger issue up here in the winter if you're without power for a week. The inside of your house is like 30 degrees Fahrenheit, not Celsius, you weirdos out there with your metric system. If it's 30 degrees Fahrenheit in your house, water's going to freeze on the counter. It's not great. Especially not great for kids. It's not great for really anybody. Natural gas on the out. My freaking O'Keefe and Merritt range runs 4 pilot lights. Huh. My entire house runs on natural gas stoves, water heater, and dryer. I can't wrap my head around getting rid of natural gas when most of the peaker type generation plants run on natural gas. We have a lot of electric production here through hydroelectric, all that kind of stuff. I think personally, I've talked about this in the past, that like the only place where there is technology to bridge the gap between, for instance, like solar and wind and everything, to bridge the gap from burning gas, coal, whatever, fossil fuel, to bridge that gap between that and switching over to solar and stuff like that, is to build some new nuclear power plants. I know that there's a lot of people out there that get all super paranoid and crazy about nuclear power plants because they're going to blow up and you're going to die or whatever. But I would encourage anybody that thinks that way to just go look up how many people have died from just burning fuel in the air quality because of that, and then look up how many people have died from nuclear power plants, and you'll go, oh, that's ridiculous. It's like 100,000 to 1, right? So it's kind of wild. When it's 30 Celsius in my house, like, I kind of uncomfortable too, although not freezing. 30 Celsius is pretty warm, right? 30 Celsius to Fahrenheit. 86. Yeah, that's 86, 30 degrees Celsius inside a house. You're probably not going to die, but you're going to be uncomfortable. I mean, 86 degrees is pretty warm for the inside of a house, but you're not going to die. That's for sure. Well, I mean, you might, but I don't think you would. Do. Let's see what we got here today. Where is the thing? I can't find it. I was about to talk about a thing, but it's not there. Nuclear fusion. They've never figured out cold fusion. They still haven't figured that out. But our nuclear reactors are like way more efficient than they were in the past. The technology is so much more advanced for nuclear power. So I think it's a matter of people getting educated and then just doing it. They should just be building them because there's really no company out there that's going to do it. It's got to be done by the people. It's really what it's going to boil down to. It's that same guy driving around out there. I wonder if he's been working on his car today or something. That's a good point. What was Alyssa saying earlier that I get to go shopping in your fish room? I specifically told Joel he could come do some shopping in my fish room when he gets his tank set up. I've got his guppies and Puffy in the same tank together right now, and I have lots of other fish here. Yeah, it's definitely going to figure it out. The fish situation, plant situation, it's going to get figured out, dude. It's going to get figured out. That's not a concern. I have tanks. I have substrate, I have scaping rocks, I have filters, I have sumps, I have everything. Everything's fine. Yeah. Didn't Bill Gates Foundation do research into nuclear reactors? Lots of research into nuclear has been going on for a long, long time. So there's a lot of technology there. Certainly not implemented in power plants that were built 70 years ago, though. So you compare something that was built 70 years ago to something that was built now. Just go look at an F-150. Okay, here you go. Here's a perfect thing. You could take a Ford F-100, I think was what it was. Let's see. 1950 F-150. Is there one? I can't remember if it was an F-100 back then. It might have just been an F1. Yeah. F100. Okay. Okay. So let's take this. Actually, I'll just add source. I don't know what window this is. Here it is, right here. Okay. I gotta cut it down. So here you go. This right here was a truck 70 years ago, right? So there's a truck from 70 years ago. This guy right here, this Wang Jangler. I should have just done the smart selection because I've had to cut the window down here. 1950 F100, right? Take this truck. And then where's the search window here? Is there a search window? This thing costs $28,000. That's wild. Where's your search window? Can I look up something else? I don't know. No, you can't use my location. Get out of here. We don't want a zip code. We want... Oh my god, why is it impossible to find... Well, there's a 2020. Okay, here we go. Compare that truck with this truck right here. Right? This one's in Las Vegas. $34,000. So the price is actually pretty close. So we got to take that into consideration, that the price is not that different. First off, right? So the price ain't that much different, but I think we can all clearly see that this truck is got way better technology than the one that was 70 years old, right? So that's kind of the thing with the nuclear power plants is they go like, "Oh, Fukushima blew up. Oh, or had a meltdown. Oh, it's leaking. Oh, it's bad." Well, you go like, yeah, I mean, a 70-year-old power plant probably isn't going to last all that long, you know? So, yeah. Alyssa says just one or two rocks, very small, easily carried rocks, practically pocket size pocket rocks for my tank. Yeah, I have a lot of rocks. I have quite a bit. 1975, the U.S. signed the Metric Conversion Act. I'm sure it'll get there soon, maybe not in our lifetime, but soon. We may never get there. I know that that Metric Conversion Act was signed, and then the people didn't want to do it, so they never implemented it. Aubrey, do they even make standard transmissions anymore? Yeah, I believe they do, but it's sort of a boutique thing, I think. My boss restored a 54 Ford F-150. That's pretty cool. Try gum soft picks instead of toothpicks. They are great. I use these ones. I don't know what these are. What are these things called? I don't know what they're called. I don't know. They're called something. Oh, Fish Tank Barn clarifying for us. Aubrey, you can still get some still in manual transmission, but the numbers are quite small. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think it's just kind of a boutique-y thing at this point. Like, I don't think they're crazy producing them. Yeah. Conversions are wild. Yeah, conversions are wild. Eyeballs is so glad to see you. Ahaha, got it. I get your jokes. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It is good to be back. I don't really know what else to talk about today that isn't just going to make people mad. You know, if I talk about current events, people get mad. If I talk about the Supreme Court, people get mad. If I talk about, I don't know what I should talk about today. We spent $700 billion a year on the military just so we don't have to switch to the metric system. That's true. True. It's definitely part of it. I think that's a big part of the reasoning behind our military spending. It's to go up against the metric system, to hold the metric system down. No. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Is anybody on Discord today? I'll go in the green room. I'll go in the green room and see if anybody shows up. All right. I'm in the green room in case anybody wants to call in. And then the other one is I want to go over to this. Should aquaculture replace the wild-caught pet fish trade? Yes, 100%. I agree with this. Let's see. Plans to ban the sale of wild-caught fish for the pet trade have caused divisions in the British Veterinary Association. While the plans have been supported by the BVA hierarchy, the Fish Vet Society, which is a specialist division of the BVA, has voiced staunch opposition to the idea. The debate has been sparked by a document present Should the ban be enacted, the biggest impact would be on the marine aquarium trade, as more than 90% of aquatic marine animals are used in both private and public aquaria are wild caught, whereas freshwater fish tend to be captive bred. Yeah, this is the thing. I got in big arguments with all the people from Piaba and all that, where they're like, they need to maintain the fishery and we got to be able to do wild caught and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, go out there and see how they get wild caught and tell me that you really endorse it. Unregulated wild catching of fish is a proven failure. It's a proven failure for the ecosystem itself. You know, when humans are just allowed to just fish and hunt relentlessly, endlessly, with no restriction, we just put animals out of into extinction, basically. So, yeah, I think it really should be. I think it really should be aquacultured if it's going to be in the trade, or at least that should be the goal. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you aren't doing it right now, but maybe you're allowed to catch wild caught because you're working on aquaculture. I don't know. I don't know how to exactly apply it without just doing a giant ban, right? Because you could throw down a giant ban, and then that's just going to cause like economic failures all around the place. So I don't think that's positive, but I think it needs to be implemented that the focus needs to be on aquaculture for hobbies. You know, for hobby fish, you know, it should be focusing on that. Pond aquaculture gained popularity in the 1960s after the government Eat More Fish campaign. By 1970, over 30,000 ponds were dug in western and Nyanza regions of Kenya, but production later declined due to most farmers abandoning the ponds. Between 1970 and 2006, aquaculture production ranged between 1,000 and 4,000 tons a year. So in Kenya, a lot of the aquaculture seems to be surrounded around for eating, fish for eating and for sale. Oh, this is an interesting article. I should read. I'm going to definitely read this later. And follow the links to the more reading. Yeah. So this is an interesting article here. We'll gain an opinion on that later. Sci-Fi Swordsman says, will there be a vid in the near future touring around the house and property and talking about plans? There's not I don't really have a plan for that. But maybe something like that'll happen. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, I don't like film the property or any kind of landmarks or anything like that, because you know, when you expose yourself to the internet, like, there are crazy people out there. I don't know if you guys have been watching the news or whatever, but there are crazy people out there that get wild ideas, and you know, I'd like to be not a part of those wild ideas, I guess would be the way to put it. Just found beard algae in my Tetra tank. What's the best way to get rid of it? Depends on the actual type of algae that you have. I mean, if it's blackbeard algae, you know, you can always use algicides for it, H2O2, hydrogen peroxide, water changes, move your lights. There's a lot of things you can do for beard algae, because there's lots of ways to starve it out. So, but you know, the tactic that I take with algae is like, I don't really want chemicals. I want the plants to outcompete them. So that's the route that I go, is like balancing my fertilizers, my water changes, my maintenance, my lights, all that kind of stuff, to make sure that that the plants are growing robustly and outcompeting the pretty much any algae in there, except for algae on the glass. I still get some of that, regardless of what I do. So that's where the maintenance schedule comes in, and clean the glass, so it's aesthetically pleasing to other humans. Yeah. Okay, nobody called in on Discord, so should I invite somebody? I don't think any of these people want to be on the show. Alrighty. All right. Well, everybody hit the like button like 100 times today, so that's pretty good. Where's our analytics here? We're gonna go to our analytics. Viewer activity. We got membership. We got membership messages. No new members today, though. We did get $50 Swedish kroner, or 50 Swedish kroner super chat from Tony, and Rumbust also super chatted, but it's not on the thing anymore. I don't know why. And we also got a member chat from Joel G, so that's totally cool. All right. Well, hey, welcome back. I'm so glad everybody came to say hi. I appreciate you. And I guess we'll just be doing a show some other time later. Okay.